Welcome to Alpha Online Education YouTube channel. So, in that we are going to discuss about intermediate second year. The 15th unit will be Semiconductor Electronics, Materials, Devices and Simple Circuits. First of all, the matter can be classified into three types. Those are solids, liquids and gaseous state. Can be stated three types. In that solids, liquids and gaseous, the free electrons can be easily moved through the solids, not from the all solids. So, according to that solids, their conductivity of electrons or resistivity, according to the conductivity and resistivity, that solids can be classified into three types. Those are metals, that means to say conductors and insulators and semiconductors. First of all, the solids can be classified into three types on the basis of they can be the electrical conductivity or resistivity. Electrical conductivity or resistivity, on the basis of that conductivity and resistivity, solids can be classified into three types. Those are conductors, insulators, semiconductors. In that case, first of all, the conductors also called as metals, and the second one insulators, and the third one is semiconductors. Here in the solids which are having the high conductivity or low resistivity, that means to say due to they have more free electrons, large free electrons consisted, so that's why they are called as metals. Means if in case of correct if we see the electrical lines, so some of the metals having the more large free electrons, so that's why they can conduct the electrons more and more, so that's why they are used as for the electrical purpose. And in household also we can use the copper wire. In the leads we can see whenever that remove the core, whenever remove the top of the layer, then we can see the copper leads, which is having that more leads can be transfer the more conductivity of electrons. So that's why the metals means which is having the large number of free electrons, which can be high conductivity and low resistivity metals are called, solids are called metals or conductors. Metals or conductors, due to they have more large free electrons, they have large free electrons is there, so that's why we can say that they are the metals or conductors. Conductivity of metals between the 10 to the power of 2 to 10 to the power of 8 Siemens per meter. Siemens per meter means here Siemens is the unit for the conductivity, that means to say the reciprocal of resistivity. The reciprocal of resistivity means in ohm universe. Ohm universe will be the Siemens. So we can say that Siemens be the unit for the conductivity, we can write that. Then the resistivity will be 10 to the power of minus 2 to 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. Ohm meter means here the large conduction will be possible due to the conductor, so that's why they have possess a high conductivity and low resistivity, and they have large free electrons. So that's why their conductivity will be between the 10 to the power of 2 to 10 to the power of 8 Siemens per meter. That will be the between the light solids, they maintain the conductivity between these values, and at the same time here the resistivity will be 10 to the power of minus 2 to 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. So the examples are aluminum, copper and iron and silver. Silver is the best metal conductor that can be conduct more and more electrons without any resistance. Conductors, silver will be the more conductor. The next one is according to the conductivity and resistivity of the material solids. Another thing is insulators. Solids can be classified into the insulator. Insulators means they have high resistivity and low conductivity nature solids are called insulators. Means they can't exchange, they can't allow to pass the electrons through the materials. Those are called also insulators. The materials which cannot allow the flow of electrons, which resist the flow of electrons, are called insulators. That means to say they cannot conduct the electrons. Means like wood, rubber, like that. Whenever if the poles, concrete poles are to build the electric lines, will build with the poles, with the concrete poles. Those are also the insulators. That means here the conductivity solids which possess very low conductivity and high resistivity, means they do not allow the flow of electrons through that materials are called as insulators, like wood, rubber, clay and putty, like that. Here the conductivity of that insulators will be 10 to the power of minus 11 to 10 to the power of minus 19 Siemen per meter. Means here that will be the resistivity, means the conduction will be between 10 to the power of minus 11 to 10 to the power of minus 19 will be lies, and resistivity will be the reciprocal of, so that's why 10 to the power of 11 to 10 to the power of 19 will be the resistivity. Means having the more resistance, means they do not allow the flow of electrons, which is having the due to that less flow of electrons, no free electrons. The conductors, the material solids do not have any free electrons, so that's why they cannot conduct the electrons. Next, the rubber, glass, plastic, putty, those are the examples for the insulators. The next one is semiconductors. In that word also is there semiconductors. Semi means there is no total conduction and there is no any total restriction. Means they allow the partial allow of electrons through the materials are called semiconductor materials, which is having the conductivity or resistivity between the conductors and insulators. The conductivity and resistivity nature will be between the insulators and conductors. So that's why they cannot allow the electrons through the materials which are having the partial conduction is there. That are the semiconductor materials. Those due to that, these have very few free electrons are there. So that's why here they cannot pass all the electrons through the materials and they cannot restrict the total electrons. So that's why they can be partially allows the flow of electrons. So those are called as semiconductor materials. Their conductivity will be 10 to the power of minus 5 to 10 to the power of 6 and resistivity will be 10 to the power of 5 to 10 to the power of 6 ohm meter. And the examples are germanium, silicon, carbon, etc. These are the examples for the semiconductor materials. Like fifth group elements are will be the using as a fifth group elements, and as the germanium, silicon, carbon, these type of materials can be used as a semiconductor materials. Nowadays we are using widely, semiconductors are using widely, and also the solids can be classified into the two types also, crystalline solids and amorphous solids. Here crystalline solids having the definite shape, and each and every part, whenever we broke the crystalline solids, then each and every part having the definite shape is there, and each and every shape having the same strong as the total body is there. So and according to the amorphous having the does not have this definite shape. If in case of a glass is there, if we broke the glass will breaks into the different types of. That's why the amorphous and crystalline solids also that can be classified by the nature of the solids. According to the band theory of solids, band theory means here we know that electrons are revolving in an atom in a around the nucleus like this. If in case of this considered as nucleus, then electrons are revolving around the nucleus. In the outermost orbit electrons which are revolving in the outermost orbital having that valency electrons, means the outermost orbital. In the outermost orbital, the electrons which are revolving around the nucleus having the high energy, even though the band orbit is filled, partially filled, they having the more energy levels. Their bond with the nucleus will be less. The electrons which are staying revolving in the outermost orbital, that is called as a valency orbital. that electrons are called as valency electrons. So that in the case of the energies, the range of energies of these electrons, valency electrons of the particular orbit, means in the orbit energy can be considered that whenever the electrons are revolving in that is the band energy of an electron. We can say that band energy of an electron. So that's why whenever the electrons are revolving in a particular orbit in atoms of a solid, the range energy is possessed by that electrons. The energy possessed by that electrons is considered as a energy band. The band which is contained by that is called as a energy band. According to the what is meant by the band, means the energy possessed by that electrons, either the free electrons or few electrons. If there is no any electrons in the band, then that will be the insulators. Like this here, so we can say that the what is valency band, means energy bands of according to the some important bands in the solids. Those are valency band and conduction band and forbidden energy gap. These are the most important thing to learn for the further concepts. First of all, what is valency band? Valency band means the range of energies, either the band which is having by the electron, the range of energies or that is band possessed by valence electrons. The valency electrons which is in the outermost orbital possessed by the some high energy level, those are electrons are called valency electron possessed by the energy range of energies are called the valency band. Valency band, that is here the second highest band is called as a valency band. This is the, and conduction band means it is having the free electrons. If in case of this having the free electrons, then only there can be large circulation will be possible through the valency band to the conduction band, then only the conduction will be possible in conductors. Either in case of there is no free electrons in conduction band, means conduction band, if the conduction band is empty, then there is no conduction between the two bands, so that can be considered as insulators. If in case of conduction band having the partial electrons, few electrons, then there is some of the less transfer of electrons from the two bands, the forbidden gap will be less. Then only that is the partially conduction will be possible through this, so that's why called as a semiconductors, the energy levels. In the case of energy levels are having the 3 electron volts of energy levels. If in case of the forbidden gap having the 3 electron volts, means energy gap which is equal to 3 electron volts, then there is no conduction between the conduction band and valence band, then electrons can get into the from valence band to the conduction band. Valence band means the energy bands which is the having the valency electrons, which is ready to escape from the orbital, which is ready to jump from the one orbital to the another orbital. So those are called as the outermost orbital electrons possess some high energy level, which is bonded to with the nucleus is very less energy will be possessed with the between the nucleus and the valency orbital electrons. So that's why the range of energy is possessed by the valency electrons, means the conduction band electrons. Conduction band electrons in the which is having the by the conduction is called a conduction band. And the next one is forbidden energy gap. If in case of the forbidden energy gap means is nothing but the simple thing is the separation between the conduction and valency band and conduction band. The separation between the conduction and valency band is called as a forbidden energy gap. If in case of the forbidden energy gap is 0, means like this, if in case of if the forbidden gap energy Eg is equal to 0, then here the valency band and conduction band will be like conduction will be directly possible without any resistance. These are called as conductors. In the conductors, the forbidden gap will be 0. There is no separation between the both conduction and valency band. Next one is insulators. In insulators, we can say that then the distance between the separation between the valency band and conduction band will be Eg is equal to 3 electron volts, or 3 is more greater than 3 electron volts is equal to 3 electron volts. Then only there is no conduction band will be, there is 0 conduction, 0 free electrons. Then then only there is no conduction between, there is no electrons will be jumped from the valency band to the conduction band, then the conduction will be 0. So that's why it can be considered as insulators. The solids can be considered as insulators. If in case of the energy level is less than the 3 electron volts, means energy level is less than the 3 electron volts, then semiconductors, means the high energy electrons can jump from the valency band to the conduction band to fill the conduction band to conduct the to flow the electrons through this. So here it is that the high energy orbitals can only travel from the conduction band to the valency band to the conduction band. This is about according to the band theory of solids, the conductors, insulators and semiconductors.